Well, this is becoming a bit of a familiar scene for myself. I'm standing here again in Kanata, and today I spoke with Tanya Sprack and her 12-year-old daughter, Jessica, both of them very concerned about drugs getting in the hands of our teens here in Kanata.
And I really don't want to know or end up finding out that one of my friends is addicted or has even passed away because of that.
After the recent deaths of 3 Kanata teens in the last few months from counterfeit pharmaceutical drugs, Kanata parents are wondering why more is not being taught in our schools sooner, including single mom Tanya Sprack.
Personally, I think it's a lot less work to be involved this way and to support getting change out there for our children collectively than it is to wonder, you know, if my daughter did get involved in drugs and trying to chase her, you know, around our community, wondering if she's still alive or if something still happened. It's better to start now while she isn't into anything.
Sprack hopes she won't have to be concerned about her 12-year-old daughter, Jessica, overdosing from drugs one day because she has taught her the dangers, yet worries for other teens who doesn't have the education needed. Jessica says she feels she may have even tried drugs if her mother didn't teach her the dangers at a young age.
I probably would think differently of it, but that would be because I wouldn't know any better.
Do you think that now that you know that drugs are dangerous, you'll know to make wise choices for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that messaging should come from everyone? Yeah.
And we also need to start listening to the youth.
This comes after 14-year-old Kanata teen Chloe Codeville died on Valentine's Day following an overdose of Percocets laced with fentanyl. Sources say she started taking drugs around August, the time drugs, primarily fentanyl, started to arrive in Kanata. Jessica feels Codeville may have lived if she knew the dangers of what these dangerous drugs could do to you.
Do you think that Chloe would have lived, Jessica, if she would have known about the dangers?
Yes.
Currently, the curriculum states you will learn about the dangers of smoking in grade 4 and 5, followed by marijuana in grade 6. Drugs only begin to be talked about in grades 7 and 8. However, drugs like fentanyl, or opioids for that matter, are not on the list. When I asked Jessica how she anticipated the curriculum would be, it didn't take long for her to answer.
Again, well, for the past 2 years for the smoking unit and the alcohol unit, it wasn't interactive. I could see most kids just with their heads down on their desk, like it's boring. So what I would want is something not to scare them, but to get the point to them so that they won't use anything.
Fentanyl is a drug that is 50 to 100 times more potent than morphine. Even small amounts of fentanyl, such as the size of a grain of rice, can kill you. It has been reported that children as young as 10 years of age has become addicted to fentanyl. This is around grade 4, at least 2 years before the dangers of drugs are even beginning to be taught in our schools. Sprack feels that's too late.
As well as I do, by the time they get into middle school, it's already too late. We spend billions of dollars every year on our health industry teaching parents and children how to eat healthy, how to take care of yourself, but it's not mainstream that we're sending positive messages out to our children and saying, this is what you need to know.
She's standing up for our kids.
Sean O'Leary, a Kanata father whose daughter, Paige, has been battling a drug addiction for about 2 years, also feels the dangers of drugs should be taught in our schools younger.
Well, younger, I mean, I think it needs to start personally in at the very minimum grade 6, if not grade 5. I know my son's in grade 5 and I've taught him lots about it because in my circumstances he needed to know, but at schools like grade 6 or grade 7, because it's probably easier, but the kids have to start becoming aware of it.
Sprack has one more message to parents. She is urging all parents to help put a stop to the drug epidemic before more teens die.
Do something. I'm asking for help. It's a lot easier for me to try and do it this way. I don't want to be that parent that buries her child. I don't want to be that parent that says to my daughter, sweetheart, I'm sorry your best friend died. I don't want that. I don't want to go to another parent's funeral when they're burying their child and go, I'm so sorry. I couldn't even express the words to Mr. Russell, who lost his beautiful daughter, Tess.
Well, both Jessica and Tanya are hoping for change. They do know it will be a long fight. However, they are calling upon you to help them with their battle. This, of course, won't be an easy one for Tanya, Jessica, as well as Sean and many others. However, it is one they are not going to give up. Charlie Cenac, TWIN News, Ottawa.